Greetings, my name is Mike and welcome to the video. So I just wanted to show this little library that I've made to help with RecyclerView adapters. Hashtag self-promotion. But anyway, I kind of got tired of rewriting the same logic over and over for things like filtering and searching and sorting items in RecyclerViews. So I wanted to make my own little library that I could use in my own projects, and I also decided to publish it so other people can use it if they want to. So in this video, I'll just show off what the adapter can do and how you can use it. Yeah, that's basically all. So let's take a look. Oh, also the source code will obviously be available on GitHub. The link will be below for that. For this code that I'm working on now and the actual source for the adapter. You can find that below if you want to check it out. Anyway, let's take a look. So the first thing we're going to do is, as per usual, add a new dependency. I'm just going to paste it in because I'm a developer, I'm lazy. So that's what it looks like. It's also on Maven Central, so make sure you have Maven Central in your build script somewhere. Then just go ahead and sync up. Cool. Also, I recommend checking for the latest version before you go ahead with just 1.0 because there might be new stuff available. Anyway, now that that's synced up, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and actually implement a custom class because that's how adapters work. You'll see it's not too different from the normal adapter implementation, so you don't have to worry too much. But my little app here is just going to display a list of Pokemon, that's all really. So I'm going to create a Pokemon adapter class, which extends now enhanced adapter instead of the normal RecyclerView adapter. In here we need to give it two type arguments. The first one is the type of the data that we are wanting to display. So I'm going to add this little Pokemon class which just has a name on it, that's all. So that's what I'm going to be using for that one, and then the second one is just your view holder type, which is normal RecyclerView patterns. And I'm just going to paste my view holder in here because there's nothing too special, so you don't need to worry too much about it. Alright, as you can see, my view holder just extends a normal RecyclerView view holder, nothing crazy there. Next, we obviously need to implement only two methods now, bind and create a view holder. You don't need to implement getItemCount because it's done for you. Now these two methods will also be normal behavior for view holder stuff, like how you normally create a view holder, same behavior, and how you normally bind a view holder as well. Like just setting the text view's text property to something. That's pretty much all standard. Now the only kind of different thing here is that we need to implement a custom little helper class called a DiffUtil callback. What this does now, if you're not familiar with it, Android has a thing called a DiffUtil for RecyclerViews, which helps you calculate the difference between two lists. Like if you want to update the list that's currently being displayed, right? If you want to add a new item to it, it can efficiently determine how the lists have changed and then apply the changes depending on that. Instead of invalidating the whole RecyclerView, which is very expensive, you only invalidate the few views or items that have changed. It's a very cool class, you should check it out regardless if you're going to use my stuff here. It is very helpful and very powerful, so do check it out. It's called DiffUtil. Anyway, since my adapter uses DiffUtil behind the scenes, we're going to have to implement a custom class to help us out. I'm just going to call it Pokemon diff callbacks. You must extend DiffUtil.item callback for our Pokemon or whatever you're displaying. In here, there's just two methods to implement. Are items the same and are contents the same? Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here. You can check out the actual source for this, it's got lots of documentation. But basically, you need to tell it when two items are considered the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and use old item equals new item, the equals operator, and then return true for this. I'm not going to go into too much detail, as I said, so just check it out. But this is basically what allows it to tell if two items in the list are the same, then it doesn't need to update them. But if they're different, then it does need to go ahead and change them. Anyway, so in my constructor, I'm just going to go ahead and pass through an instance of that class. And then the second parameter here is the max selections, because the adapter supports multi-selection. So for this, I'm just going to go ahead and add 5 here. And there you go, that's the minimum implementation needed for enhanced adapter. Unfortunately, the DiffUtil stuff does make it a little bit less clean, I suppose, but it does really help a lot. You'll see just now, don't worry, of what it actually does. Anyway, I'm going to go into my activity now, and I'm going to go and instantiate this adapter. First, just add a field for my adapter, if I can spell correctly. Then in onCreate, just go and new it up. Pretty standard stuff. In my layout file, I need to also remember to add a RecyclerView here. Match parent. Layout manager is a linear layout manager. Again, all normal RecyclerView stuff. Give it an adapter, an ID rather. That's all we need to do in the layout. And in onCreate, on that RecyclerView, I'm just going to set its adapter to my adapter that I created. Cool. Finally here in this observer function thingy, this is basically when I get my list of Pokemon back from the service. It comes in here. And then I just need to say adapter.set items to the list that I get. Cool. Straightforward. Let's give it a run and see what happens. Here we go. And then cool. Nothing too fancy, but we do get a list that's displayed to us. Yeah. So far nothing too different from a normal RecyclerView, but I'll show you some more features now. You'll notice that the list isn't sorted in any way. It's not alphabetic or anything. So let's go and add alphabetic sorting, shall we? In the adapter, you can just go and override a method here called compare items. And in here you can just determine how you want the items to be sorted. I'm just going to sort by name, so I'm just going to say left-hand side.name compared to right-hand side.name. And I'll say ignore case because I don't care about case sensitivity. That's all you need to do. So I'll just run it again. And now we'll see that the items in the list are sorted alphabetically. Right, there we go. A's are at the top, and then obviously as you go down you get B and C and stuff. Pretty straightforward and easy to do. The next thing that it supports is filtering out items. So for example, if you have a search function like I do here, as you type stuff it should filter out items that don't match the search. Now we can do that pretty easily as well. Again, override another method here that's called test item. And in here you just need to return true or false depending on whether that item matches the search query. So I'm just going to again search on the name here. Name, contains the query, and I'll just do case insensitive as well. Then in the activity on the search menu thing, when we type a search query, I just say adapter.filter and give it the query. And in this method as well, I don't know why there's two different ones for it, but that's how it works. That's all you need to do for filtering, so we'll run it and test out the search function. Cool, now if I go and search for Pikachu, if I can spell that right, you can see that all the Pikachu results come up and then there's nothing else in the list. Now here's where you'll see the DiffUtil coming into play, where the items don't change instantly. You'll see that if I just scroll up some more, and the items actually do animate out, you can see. You can see how the items are jumping around and stuff. That's the DiffUtil calculating the difference between the old list and the new one, and then determining animations to make it look pretty smooth. So yes, again, do check out DiffUtil if you haven't yet. A very nice class. So there we go, that's all we need to do for filtering. Again, it works pretty well. I mean, seems pretty smooth as well. This is quite a big list as well. It's probably almost 1,000 items, so it works pretty well. And finally, the last thing that it supports that I mentioned already is multi-selection. If you want to have a list where you can select up to, say, 5 items, then it supports it for you. In the adapter here, we already give it the max selections in the constructor, which I said was 5. And then now in onBindViewHolder, we need to set onClick listener, like when an item is clicked, set onClick. We need to tell the adapter that an item was clicked. So this method comes from the enhanced adapter, that you're just telling it basically that, hey, an item was clicked, please do multi-selection stuff. That's almost all you need to do. The last thing is that in here you need to somehow tell the user that the items are multi-selected, like give it some kind of visual feedback. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the background of the items to like pink when they're multi-selected so you can easily see. So what we can do, there's a method called isItemSelected in the adapter where you give it the position and it returns true if the item is multi-selected. So we can use that to then update the UI to show the user. Alright, there we go. So you can see I've just got an if statement here. If item is selected, set the item background color to accent or pink. Otherwise, set the background color to transparent so it kind of blends in with the other items. So let's go and run that and see that multi-selection works. Cool, so if we click on some items, we can see, cool, it turns pink. And if you select more than 5, obviously nothing's going to happen. You can unselect items and then select different ones. And all works fine. Obviously it also works with the search, so if I've got 4 selected, then I search for Pikachu, I can only select 1 more because there's still 5 selected. Pretty cool. And yeah, that's all for multi-selection really. Just one more thing in your activity or wherever you need to get the items, you can say adapter.get selected items and it returns a set of items that are currently multi-selected for you to use wherever you need to. Cool, so that's basically all the functionality this adapter has at the moment. As I said before, there's a GitHub page. It looks like this. It's got a whole lot of instructions and example use cases and stuff that you can check out if you want to. So do check this out as well, because this will be kept up to date more than the video. Also, if you have suggestions, like you want to see more functionality, please either create an issue on the GitHub page here or add a comment or something and I'll consider it. Because I'm always open to new ideas and new suggestions here. And if you found like a bug or something, also let me know please, because I do want to fix that as well. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, hope that you'll give this a try because I do think it does make life a lot easier, especially with DiffUtil making efficient updates. Anyway, thanks for watching and cheers for now.